You read that it fell. Ignore my glitter packaging. I come packing crafting.
Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on SewStitchHex. I'm Macadamia, and today I'm going to be reviewing Volume 1 of No Longer a Heroine by Momoko Koda. And it's a really cute book. It is rated teen. It's by Yen Press. On the back, I will read that part first, instead of forgetting to the end. Enter Hattori Matsuzaki, the heroine of this love story, and her hero, Rita Terasaka. An infamous hottie with a hidden heart of gold. Sure, he might be a notorious playboy, but she's got nothing to worry about. After all, he's never serious about any of his paramours. Besides, she knows him better, has been by his side longer, and loves him so much, more than anyone else possibly could. Okay, so she might not be dating him just this second, but what's the rush when destiny is on her side, right? Yeah. Also, I want to say I really love how simple and kind of modern this design is, even though that text is minuscule. I loved Volume 1. I haven't acquired Volume 2 yet, but this did come out in 2010. Yeah. And the first Yen Press edition was August 2022. So I think I got this when it came out. I just have been very busy and lazy and haven't had time. Essentially, it's about our main girl, who's like the heroine of the story, but she's very in her own head. She wants to be the heroine and this be her hero. She wants this to be her main man if they're in their own shoujo manga. But she's never pushed herself to be the heroine. She's been his bestie since they were children. But just like we see in the first episode, she's really cute. And, I mean, come on. If Rita's the hero of his own shoujo manga, then no other girl is more heroine material than me. You've heard of the childhood friend trope, right? I've watched over here much closer and longer than anybody else. Avi. You know I love her because she says Avi. Plus, Rita never ever dates anyone seriously. In the first chapter, I think he breaks up with 3 people. Apparently, he dated this one for a week. And she was like, wow, you just really go through them. But it's very amicable. Nobody's upset. They're just okay. It just looks like a random exchange. Everyone's laughing. It looks fun. And they just walk away. And he's like, yeah, no, we broke up. They're like, what? And she's fine with that because she knows that he doesn't really date anyone seriously. It seems more like he just picks them to be his temporary friend, but I don't know. So in the first chapter, we have Rita get attacked by some bullies at the school who have JoJo style crazy faces compared to everyone else who's got the typical shoujo manga style. And while he's been being harassed and everything, this Velma lookalike comes up. She's got the bowl cut, very Bruce Lee. Oh, there's a good picture of it. Look how cute she is. Very much a anime Velma. Comes up and stops them from harassing them. She kicks their butt. She's like, don't touch them. And so then Rita and the girl, whose name I forgot again. She is such a badass. I love her. Because she walks up and is straight up like, come at me if you dare. I'll scream and tell everyone that you are shoplifting. Just try messing with him again and I'll make you regret it. Ooh, boss babe. Isn't that a cutie? Boss babe. Yeah, so they start talking and she's a little worried. It's Adachi-san. Adachi. There we go. Boss babe. Giving more leading lady vibes than me. Yeah, so she really is in her whole head. The story is about her, but she's so concerned with everyone else. She is the watcher of a shoujo manga, or anime, depending on how you're getting your access. Because if you got it uploaded in video format, you're watching it. You can read anime too if you don't speak Japanese, so it doesn't matter. Reading, watching. She is the watcher. She's like, hang on. Why was I so sure that I was Rita's heroine again? I haven't made any moves or even confessed to him. Am I the bit part here? She's worried that she's her own background character or that she's just like a secondary character. And so in chapter 2, we get to see her being super jelly. Talking about how cute she is and how she can't really compare, and she didn't really expect this to happen. She's like, all I have to do is take back what's mine, right? But how does she do that? Because he's actually being, like, involved with her. Like, he actually is spending time with her. And she tries to sabotage her by, like, messing with her desk. She tells her to not wear glasses, but she's cute with or without her glasses. With them, it's the Velma vibe. Without them, she's just so sweet, very cute, which is very much the aesthetic. And she just ends up realizing that she's being a total bitch. Like, she sees herself in the mirror and it's like, who was that? Like, oof. And she was just being super mean. Like, okay, I want to find it. Real talk, I've actually got a thing for Terasaka. But, like, I would have been totally fine with it if you'd gotten with him, Hattori. What? Wait, why? You're just perfect together. You got this bond that none of us can barge in on, you know? That's what I've been saying. That was in her head. What? No. Rita and I are just old friends. But, like, there's got to be destiny or something drawing you two together. Come on. It's not true. It's so effing annoying that little piggy doesn't get it. Stop. Don't say that. I mean, I guess she can be surprisingly hard-headed or, like, a little shameless, you know? Oh, I knew I liked you, girl. That's her being so mean. She's like, what? Why does my face look so evil? Oh, it's back to normal. What the heck just happened? And then she comes out, and she's like, oh my God, did she hear that? If she tells Rita about what she's like, sorry. I only came out since it got quiet. I thought you'd all left. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop or anything. Why are you the one apologizing? Good point. And she's like, I want to die. Matsuzaki-san? Yes? Don't worry about any of this, okay? What do you mean? Please don't get mad if I'm wrong, okay? But you have a crush on Terasaka-san, right? Huh? No, I don't like him. Don't mind that. Don't mind that I'm his girlfriend. She's like, as if. From your point of view, it must feel like I stole them, right? I mean, you've been together since you were both so little. I'm sure I would have wanted to say much meaner things if I were you. I'm sorry, but it's not like I want to keep Terasaka-san out of myself or anything. I hope you'll still hang out with him like you always have, and if one day he starts to like you instead, I won't hold it against you. She's so sweet. And she gets so mad. She's like, what's her deal? Pretending she's so noble. And it's like, no, she's just genuinely a nice person, whereas you're kind of a cunt. And she even walks up and sees that they wrote all these mean things on her desk, all these horrible things. And they're like, you should write on her desk. And she's like, no, that's not very nice. She's like, it doesn't really matter because all of us are just extras. And that's like her whole deal. That's her making a breakdown in every freaking episode of this volume, is just crying because she's not the heroine anymore. Just bawling her eyes out, absolutely depressed. And it's like, well, stop crying about it and do something. So she tries to sabotage her. She follows him around. She tries confessing to him. And he's like, look, I'm not digging it. No. I guess we can't be friends anymore because this has just got weird. And you're like, bro, you could talk it out with her. Like, you've known her forever. Come on now. But so they have like a complete breakdown. And then he's super moody because he really didn't want to leave her and not be besties. But he didn't know how to handle this situation because it's all awkward, because it's unrequited, possibly. I think he does like her, but I think he's not used to the idea of a true connection with someone that's a longer lasting relationship, which is why this relationship with Adachi, which is so different from his usual, because it's not just a hot babe with little to no personality that he just dates for a week and then they make their separate ways. It's more, that's the relationship with all these other girls has been more of a relationship of convenience, of popularity, of we're both hot, like whatever. And this relationship with Adachi has substance. It's not just she's super cute. She's also smart. She can hold her own. She's protective. She's just a kind person. So it's not like the other relationships. And he really wanted her and his friend to get along, I guess. But then he found out she liked him. And as she confesses, she just spews out all these things, and he does end up leaving her at the station, but feels bad about leaving her at the station because all the trains are closed. She's broke, so he sends her home in a taxi, and then they do talk it out. They're like, you can't lead me on like that. Don't get my hopes up, you big jerk. If that's all it was, I wish you just would have left me alone. And they just are just depressed. The Rita and Adachi hang out, and he's just not himself. And she's like, is that why you're so down? But that's because things got awkward? Could you tell me about it? I'll help you think of a solution. It's just, how can I put it? I'm pretty full of myself. Back when Hattori said she was going to get a boyfriend, it honestly bugged me. Yeah, that was another thing that I failed to mention in the earliest chapter. She was talking about how I could get a boyfriend too. She was thinking about him, of course, but she wanted to make him jealous, maybe make him come to her. But instead, he didn't, which was the opposite of her plan. Backfired. Like, sometimes women can't expressly state, and I mean anyone can expressly state, but it's the trope for women, what they want someone to do, so they set a trap. And he did not. He got upset, but he didn't care, which was the opposite of her plan. She was like, yesterday, even though I don't like her that way, I got this urge to give her what she wants, but that's just self-centered BS. Then I did something that got her hopes up and hurt her even more. I just feel like a total scumbag. So you decided not to be in her life anymore? So you don't get her hopes up again? You don't think maybe that's self-centered? I mean, if I were her, nothing would hurt me more than losing you completely. And then we go back to our character who doesn't even know how to function because he's not in her life, and she's so upset. And they don't want to talk or anything. Like, he kind of is still ignoring her, and then he calls her over and is like, look, just play your stupid game. Then they go, and she's just bawling her eyes out, and she's like, I can't do this. I'm sorry, Rita. I know exactly how annoying this is for you. And I know I don't stand a chance in hell, and that I'm just being selfish. Trust me, I get it. But I'm sorry. I love you too much. Even if it's just as your old friend, would you please let me be in your life? And they're like, just bawling her eyes out. He's just like, dummy. If it turns out to be a massive waste of time, you can't blame me. You got it? You'd be much better off finding another guy. Don't come crying to me if you stay single your whole life. Or if you end up alone in a retirement home when you're old and gray. And she's thinking to herself the whole time, it may be selfish, but if I don't go all in, I can't expect a miracle to save me. I've still got some fight left in me. He's like, then knock yourself out. I may not have a hero right now, but this is my love story, and nobody can be the heroine but me. And I like that. It's like a really cute story of, like, kind of unrequited love. It's like, I think he would be in a relationship with her if he were more mature. Because he is a little bit immature, and his relationships so far with other women in his age group have not been very mature relationships. I mean, they've ended maturely, like they just cut off, but they also haven't been in depth. They have had no substance whatsoever. It seems like they're mostly relationship in name only, like those relationships you had in middle school where you were like, oh, we're dating, and then like a week later you're like, this isn't working out because I don't see you. I don't go outside of school. I don't understand what this is. Bye. So you just break off. And then sometimes people get super mad, but it's like, I didn't know you. This is the kind of relationship he strikes me as having, because he's only seen these women for like a week. There's not enough time for him to have a substantial relationship with them. So instead, it ends up being kind of just really simple, really basic. And I feel like he doesn't want to ruin the relationship with his friend by having a romantic relationship with her, because he doesn't understand how to have a complex relationship because he hasn't experienced it yet. So as the books go on, I would expect there to be more of a complex relationship forming. And I'm concerned that there might be like a little, well, it's not a love triangle, because a love triangle, all three have to be connected, but a point where both Adachi and Atori are going after him, but I don't know. That doesn't sound right, because I feel like, I mean, that's kind of what's happening. But Adachi would be fine to just step down for now. I think as their relationship develops, if they stay together, which he seems to be making it look like he's going to stay with her for a while and developing a more mature, long-lasting relationship with actual substance to it, then there might be a fight. And I want them to become good friends, and I want this to be hard on everyone. I want to get, like, the emotional tug that I got while watching Nana. Like, I want it to hurt everyone involved, but I want it to resolve peacefully. So we'll see as the book goes on. If you're interested in this volume, I'll put a link down below. If you've read this, please tell me what you thought. If you haven't, but you really want to, what strikes you as exciting about it? Is it my description? Was it the imagery? Because it's very beautifully drawn, and I love the contrast in the characters and just how beautifully done it is. And also, don't you just love that cover art? Like, I know I've said it, but like, it's so cute. That's what got my attention. It was just like, that's so modern. Oh my. I know there's other ones that are like that, but this one caught my attention. Well, if you want to read it, let me know down below. If you've read it, let me know. Please like, subscribe, and I will post another review of the further volumes as I get them. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wicked evening. Bye! This is my love story, and nobody can be the heroine.